And we are live.
We are live. Welcome to An Englishman in San... Oh, I'm going to start that again, because that's not it. That's just pure ego, is that? This is not An Englishman in San Diego. This is A Cup of Tea with an Englishman in San Diego. I'm a host, for goodness sake. I'm not the actual thing. Yeah. Welcome to A Cup of Tea with an Englishman in San Diego. My name's Leonard Sultana, and I am welcoming you if you're watching live on the Google Plus Hangout. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. This is a live show where for an hour or so we talk San Diego Comic-Con, one or two other cons as well. We also talk nerd and geek news that have happened in the last 7 days, and we also get to talk to some interesting people as well about what's forthcoming, what's due, what's imminent, because we do have one or two things that are on the horizon for us San Diego Comic-Con fans, certainly. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. If you are watching live, if you're watching on the Google Plus Hangout, certainly do jump on the Q&A. We would love to hear, number one, where you're watching from. We'd love to hear. I am a big fan of the whole Comic-Con International. It's that international thing that does seem to keep reminding that we are a worldwide community of fans. And also, just let us know that you're watching. If there's anything you do want to talk about on the Hangout, you can either use the Q&A on the Google Plus Hangout, or you can also tweet us at CupOTSDCC. That's the hashtag that you can see at the bottom of the screen as well. That's CupOTSDCC. Very shortly indeed, we are going to be announcing the winners of the competition for last week's Hangout, which we've had a lot of people taking part in. Thank you very much indeed for entering, but we'll get to that very shortly indeed. Don't forget as well, we would love all the support we can get, so do spread the word about the Hangouts. You can use the links that are on the Google Plus page, or you can share the YouTube. Let everyone jump in and do let us try and get as many people involved in the conversation as possible. Of course, this Hangout is also available as an audio version, and you can watch on YouTube. You can follow, and also please subscribe to our SoundCloud and to our iTunes podcast channel as well. Any comments that you'd like to throw on there as well, we would love to hear any feedback. Do let us know what we can do to continue to make the Cup of Tea Hangouts so much better. We've got ourselves two fantastic guests who have joined us. My regular partner in crime, we have Alyssa Franks, who's joined us. Hello, Alyssa. How are you?
I am well, busy, you know. But thank God the holidays are over with. I'm done with them. Done.
Sure. I mean, yeah. It is, 2015. Let's crack on with it now. Let's get on with it, shall we?
Yes, exactly. I'm ready for con season. And speaking of holidays, an official happy birthday. Leonard goes out to Leonard. I'll have to get that out right at the beginning.
Thank you. No, thank you. No, I appreciate that. Thank you very much indeed. Yes, it is my birthday today. Just to let one or two people know as well, I have been kind of avoiding social media today. Number one, because I have been a busy little bee. I do a radio show on a Sunday for 3 hours, so that kind of takes up a little bit of my Sunday. But I have been seeing the comments coming in on Twitter and on all the various social medias. I do want to reply to each and every one of you. Thank you very much indeed for the birthday wishes. It's very, very much appreciated. Thank you very much indeed. As it happens, it has fallen, yes, on the Hangout day. So it gives me the chance to say thank you on there. Thank you. Yeah, brilliant. Has there been any topics that have been of major discussion on the Friends of CCI forum this week?
A number of them, you know, badge sales for the variety of cons that are going up. Gen Reg, New York Comic Con, SE New York Comic Con, the Repop merger with Emerald City has been a topic. Hotel rooms, it's all there. It's all ramping up. It's the early con season.
It starts now, doesn't it? It really does.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. I mean, we've got a number of things that we are going to talk about in today's show, so we will get round to those. No doubt they have been topics on the friendsofcci.com forum. So Yeah, we will get to those. Obviously, a lot of people have been talking about badges. That will be one of our main topics of conversation very soon indeed. Thank you very much indeed to everyone who's jumping in on the Q&A. I mean, we've got people from Scotland. Hello, Gary. Hello from Oban, Argyll and Bute. So, you see, it's not just the American audience. Thank you very much indeed for jumping in on that. Okay, and also certainly someone who we wanted to invite onto the Hangout, certainly to talk about New York Comic Con, because he knows his stuff, and we've had him on the Hangout before, and it's a pleasure to welcome Michael Leventhal. Hello, Michael. How are you doing, sir?
Hi, Leonard. Also, want to wish you a happy birthday since
thank you.
This morning, and doing your Hangout on your birthday, so that's always a fun experience. Yeah,
Excuse me.
If people hadn't seen our New York Comic Con Hangout that we did around October-ish, September-ish, I've been going to the New York Comic Con for a few years now, and started to go to the San Diego Comic Con also, so I've been doing a little bit of both, and a few other cons, gaming cons, Gen Con, and here and there, so, you know, getting my foot wet in all the different areas, so, and
Excellent.
It's fun.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we spoke to you when we had Brian Stevenson on from ReadPop. Hopefully, we are going to be getting Brian back on a Hangout as well. I know that one or two people have been asking whether we'll be getting Brian back. Yes, we will. Hopefully, that'll happen relatively soon. The only downside is that Brian does like to keep his weekends to himself, which is understandable. So it may be a midweek hangout, but if you are interested in New York Comic Con and what ReadPop have got planned for 2015, which is lots, do keep your eyes open. We are going to hopefully get Brian on the hangout shortly. So, excellent. Thank you very much indeed for joining us, Michael. Once again, thank you very much indeed to everyone who's jumping on the Q&A. Thank you very much indeed, Craig. Yes, I appreciate the birthday wishes. Thank you very much indeed. Hello, Michael. Wishing good morning. I know that we're all over time zones. Where are you based, Michael? Leventhal, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you, because I was seeing.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of Michaels.
Yeah. I'm directly in New York, so New York Comic Con is my home Comic Con, so I'm in New York. You know.
So great to both East Coasters joining us as guests then. So yeah, we're talking 6 o'clock here in the UK. So we've got 1:10 for you on the East Coast, and yeah. So it's across the board. But thank you very much indeed. Right, let's crack on then. Let's very quickly cover the competition last week, which was for the Ex Machina. Now, I just did it then. I've been calling it Ex Machina. Ex Machina, I've been corrected, is the actual term for this film. It's actually due out in the UK this week. I'm very much looking forward to it. And like I say, we had I've actually managed to post the picture up on the social media and on the website as well of this brilliant picture, this brilliant T-shirt that has been designed by Last Exit to Nowhere for Universal Pictures UK. We've got one of those T-shirts. I am going to be giving another one of those T-shirts out on the website. That's going to be a website-only thing, so there's not the only chance to win this brilliant T-shirt, but we gave one away last week. We've had a number of entries, and I've even downloaded a randomizer piece of app on for my phone. So this is completely computer. This is nothing to do with me. It's a completely random selection. Like I say, thank you very much indeed to everybody who has taken part in this competition for this brilliant T-shirt. Let's find out who our winner is this week then. So if I hit spin, and here we go, spin. And the winner is of this brilliant T-shirt. It's a very minimal design. It's fantastic. The winner is. Let's see what I've got. That it's. Sorry, let me. No, I've got the. It's got it. It's just shrunk the name down for some reason. We've got Andrew, who's won the competition this week. I'm just trying to get his full details up, but I'd get his surname. But no, Andrew, thank you very much indeed for you entered on Twitter. You are the winner of our competition. Brilliant! Congratulations, Andrew. What we're going to do is we'll get that in the post to you in the hopefully we'll be getting the T-shirt this week, and we'll get it out to you hopefully by the end of the week. Congratulations, Andrew. Well done. We are going to be doing another competition later on in this Hangout where you could be the recipient of a very nice Mondo poster for Back to the Future, which was
or Michael could be a winner.
Yes, unfortunately, the people who take part in this Hangout we can't have a go at this competition, unfortunately. Right. So, Michael, you're out of it, and unfortunately, Alyssa, you're out of it as well.
So, is that why there's a lot of people decline this week?
That's why we have.
Can I decline right now?
Yeah, that's why we have 3 times as many viewers this week. I'm not kidding. We have 3 times as many viewers. Yes, it's a limited edition. There was like 225 issued of this poster. You can go on to an Englishman in sandiego.com and have a look at it. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous Mondo poster for Back to the Future. So we will be giving the question out to that a little bit later on in this Hangout. Right, so let's very quickly go through a number of the headlines. I've got a couple here. Do you want to jump in, Alyssa, with a couple, and we'll talk?
I mean, I think the burning one, and from what I was seeing on the Q&A, was badge sale. When is Gen Reg going to be? And I just jump right into it, because that's the precursor for everything, for all things San Diego. On the forum, I'm just now posting the link to the forum poll, which still has February 7th and February 21st. But there's been an unofficial, unannounced release of a hotel sale date of March 24th, which unofficial, hasn't been announced by Comic-Con yet, so that's still subject to change until they announce it. But if the hotel sale is in March, 3 weeks, isn't there usually, somebody was saying 3 weeks between the hotel sale and the badge sale? So
I think last year it wasn't even 3 weeks. I think they did actually crack on with it. I do seem to remember there was this massive turnaround of about a 3-4 week period where it was just news, bang, 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 badge sale, hotel sale. I do seem to remember they just kind of blitzed through it all in a kind of like 3-4 week period. It kind of makes sense that there's going to be a little bit of a gap between.
So if we say that it's going to be 2 weeks and it's March 24th, so effectively it's got to be the last week. The first week in March has got to be the last weekend that it could be.
Sure.
The ticket sale could be.
It makes sense. I mean, if you do the math, it does make sense.
So clear all Saturdays except for, and they cannot be this heartless, February 14th, because it is Valentine's Day.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I think. I think the 14th would be a nice day to do it. So you can spend a romantic evening or a morning with your partner, and you can hold hands and look gazingly into each other's eyes, and then panic over badge sales. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
That could work in either way, though. You get your tickets, and it's a great Valentine's Day. You don't get your tickets, and it becomes the Valentine's Day from hell. Like, how are we spending Valentine's Day? Well, we're going to Comic-Con, or we're not going to Comic-Con.
We're spending Valentine's Day by staring at a screen with a little blue circle on it. That's what we're. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm going for that. Those first 2 weeks in February as well. It makes sense. It does. I'm not going to make any kind of comments. I did try getting in contact with one or two people, which I thought might be able to help with sort of kind of like feeding us some information, but it did get a bit awkward to kind of ask. So yeah, that makes sense. No, that makes sense. So yeah, do keep your eyes open on those dates, and keep your eyes open.
Yeah, I'm just thinking the 7th, the 21st, the 28th, or, whoops, I got the dates wrong. God, jeez. 7th, 21st, 28th, or the 7th of March. I mean, that would be the latest.
I
So,
think we're gonna,
and that gives all of us who are working, who work on the weekends, who work retail, or whatever, some time to give your bosses some heads up.
sure.
So that was that. But there's also some things happening with New York ticket sales and Esri. Last year, special edition New York Con offered New York Comic-Con tickets at their show, and my understanding was that there was a huge line for that. You were there, Mike, though, weren't you?
Yes, I was. So last year was the first year for the smaller show that New York Comic Con did,
Mm-hmm.
and they did offer New York Comic Con tickets at the show. I don't know if that was to get people in, to the new show, kind of like, fill up some people, or if it was, like if they're going to do that year to year, because I know that there's been a lot of also issues with in-store sales for the New York Comic Con tickets.
Right.
So they may continue that trend just because that in-store sale doesn't work anymore. That model doesn't work. So, but I was there both days of the show, and I luckily had a VIP pass, so when I walked in, I went straight on Saturday to buy my tickets, and I had no problems because I went straight there. But I did pass by at the end of the day, and that line was very long. However, that said, they had enough tickets for everyone who wanted to purchase a ticket. So even though you may have waited a few hours, you still got your ticket, if I recall.
But there's no promise that they're going to do that again this year for New York Con.
As of yet, no. The special edition site hasn't been updated yet, so there is still the like if you go down and it says buy tickets at New York Comic Con, but that relates to last year. They haven't taken it down, so it's possible. I'm betting that they probably do. Do it again.
Mm-hmm.
I think it worked well for them. I think it's a good draw for them, and I think it gives an advantage to go to both shows. So I think if I was betting, I would say they probably will still do it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
No, yeah. I'm curious to see how. I really want to try and get to talk to Brian. Certainly about badges and when it comes to availability, because I do want to talk about the number of badges that were sold. Oh, it's tickets for New York Comic Con.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, Alyssa's laughing because she knows exactly where I'm going with this. The whole controversy of New York Comic Con selling more badges than San Diego Comic Con, and therefore New York Comic Con is now bigger than San Diego. I think we've all kind of done the math ourselves where it doesn't quite work out that way. Because New York Comic Con do count individual badges. So, for example, if you are one person and you buy for the Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, that counts as 3 badges. If you buy a weekend pass for San Diego Comic Con, that counts as 1 badge. So the math doesn't quite add up. So, no, I'd like to talk to Brian about that. We have had a couple of questions coming in from Cat Lily. Thank you very much indeed for your comment. This is regarding San Diego Comic Con. The last couple of years, the badge sale has been the week before and the week after February the 14th. So that does kind of narrow the window. Thank you. I'm glad someone's been paying attention to those kind of stats.
Thank you.
You'd think that's the kind of thing we should kind of know off the top of our heads, but no, thank you very much. Very good point. Excellent stuff. It does kind of give you that margin of that window of where to aim for. Although I do quite like Neil Williamson's comment of yes, if it is February the 14th, then we can start officially calling it the Valentine's Day Massacre. Nice, nice, like that. Okay, brilliant. Let's have a look. We also have to factor in Wondercon stuff. Very good point. This is from Betsy. As it is early April, this year. As they haven't. Are they selling Wondercon tickets yet?
No.
They haven't. They haven't even done that yet.
No.
So
They haven't.
I think this is where I was thinking about the rapid news last year, and I think it was badge sale, early bird, Wondercon, hotel sale. Next thing you know, it really was just like rapid fire news. So I think in order, I think we're going to get early bird. I think early bird first, then I'm possibly going to get Wondercon. Then I think we're going to be looking at Comic-Con tickets, and then it's the hotel sale. I would say it's that kind of order, but at this point we can't really say. We can't really say.
An interesting point about WonderCon is that if the March 24th date does hold true, then that's the Tuesday before WonderCon. So, which,
yeah,
which is a little crazy, just especially for people who want hotel rooms.
Sure.
And who might be managing forums and are considering going to WonderCon, and all that entails with opening up a whole new area and the Google spreadsheet and the swap out. And so thank you, Betsy. That's a great point.
It is a good point. Also this week, when it comes to Comic-Con news, do check out the friendsofcci.com forum, and also I posted on my site as well. I do keep up to date on the wave of guests that San Diego Comic-Con have been announcing. The lineup this year is splendid. It's a hell of a lineup. It's pure creatives as well. That's what I do love about the WonderCon setup. It's a very the guest list is just incredible. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's certainly something to consider. Obviously, I'm trying to remember as well when they actually announced it, because they announced it slightly different last year as well, if I remember correctly, because in previous years they've only announced the opening up of the badge sale for San Diego Comic-Con a couple of days before. However, this year, 2014, they announced it, I believe, on the Monday or the Tuesday, giving a full week of a Tuesday. It was a full week of preparation, and they did a number of posts to prepare people for the badge sale, which I thought was fantastic. It really did give people the chance to get everything nailed down and ready for the badge
historically sale. What they tend to do is they tend to really prep people for the pre-reg, and I think that they rely on the pre-reg folks instructing the gen-reg folks.
Sure.
For it. For example, a couple 3 years ago, they put out that video. They only put it out for pre-reg. They didn't put out a second one for gen-reg.
You're right. But then again, I mean, that's the video I have been pointing people towards.
Yep.
Because it has been that's their model which they've introduced. That's the model they seem to be going with. So no, it makes sense that if you do, I think if we can try and dial that video up, or the link to that video, if we can put it up on the top of the Q&A. Thank you very much indeed. Brilliant. Sure.
Y'all could talk about the Reed Pop merger with.
Oh no, sure, no, absolutely. We'll talk to Michael about that, because this I'm not overly familiar with Emerald City, but Reed Pop they've taken on the running for Emerald City. This is something they announced this week as an expansion of what they do. Is this something that you've spotted, Michael?
That came out of nowhere for me. I knew Brian was teasing that they had big news, and usually when he says there's some big news, there is big news.
It's all or nothing with Brian, isn't it? It's the big stuff. It
really is, because I remember last year he was saying, he kept telling me, stay in the Tomorrowland, panel. And out pops George Clooney. So, usually it's either like, we have some big news, or it's like, nothing. So, I've never been. Emerald City is obviously in Seattle, so that's all the way on the other side of the coast for me, and the only show I've done on the other side of the coast is San Diego. But I've been hearing things about Emerald City being a great show. It certainly gets a lot of attention on the Friends of CCI site, and from what I've seen, it's not so much that ReedPop actually just straight out bought them, but it's almost like a merger, because I've heard that the person who's the showrunner, I forget his name. I know it starts with a D, David, Dan, something or other. He's actually staying on, and he's still running his show. So it's kind of like we didn't just buy.
They're kind of putting their name to it and providing perhaps some infrastructure.
Probably. Yeah, to just propel it to a higher level than it is, you know, because obviously when you take two big groups and you add them, and you know, you take that knowledge base, it just makes it better, you know. And I think it'll turn into a good show. Not that it wasn't bad before, but I'm just saying you add the you know, you add expertise from both sides, and I'm sure ReedPop will learn some stuff from Emerald City that they'll apply to their shows, you know.
No, that makes sense.
That was one of the things that they had said, was that they were really looking for the Emerald City crew to bring in that homey feel and attention to the fan that Emerald City has down, that perhaps given ReedPop's huge presence in the industry, they've kind of lost a little bit. And I think there's a wonderful opportunity for that in the artist alleys.
Yeah. And if I could comment, I'm also sure that, I mean, we've seen it now. Most cons seem to be coming. It seems to be that a lot of cons now sell out. They're very, very popular lately. Even like the Rhode Island con that sold out, and they were kicking people out. You know, so I think that, you know, for a show that's growing, you know, or is getting bigger, ReedPop could also create that infrastructure where issues like that may not happen as much. You know, like they could anticipate larger turnouts for big shows that are becoming bigger and bigger.
Sure.
You know.
Sure.
I know that I know that a few people on the forum are really concerned that ReedPop is going to commercialize Emerald City. And that doesn't seem to me to be so likely, although they may be able to bring in a couple of large sponsors that'll do a cash influx, which any organization I think would like. But
sure. I mean, ReedPop have just they just ballooned over the last 2 years. Certainly with they're introducing. I still haven't actually seen any news about this. The Paris show that they're going to be running, that I'm interested in, about certainly being more European, possibly be able to go to that particular show, but also with the way that Star Wars Celebration has blown up. They really do. They put on fantastic shows, and I'm very curious to see, because this reminds me very much of the San Diego Comic-Con model, which they did with Ape. Which now Ape has separated and gone back in as an independent enterprise. San Diego Comic-Con introduced themselves to Ape and brought their infrastructure and their name to that organization and to that con. And Ape has just gone from strength to strength off the back of that. And I think with ReedPop, I think it's going to be a very similar thing and a very similar setup. So that's cool. Okay, so that's the merger. The other piece of two pieces of news I wanted to just quickly bring up is I'm a massive fan of the Eisner Awards. I will be making my damnedest to be in the room again for 2015. I was there for 2014. It was a great show. It's brilliant to have that breadth of talent from across the generations. So you've got your golden age of comics creators right there, with the best and the brightest of the new talent. Do check out the websites, not only mine but also San Diego Comic-Con's website. More information about Eisner's. But certainly for us as fans, one category came about this week, which you may be interested in. This is the Will Eisner Spirit of Industry Retailer Award. This is a category which is not nominated for the shortlist by the voting committee. This is by us as fans. These are comic book shops across the globe, and it is a global competition as well. It was a joint first place last year with a shop from Utah and a shop from Melbourne, Australia, in 2014. It's here in the UK. I think we had 3 shops that were up for the running. Go to the website. Print off the form. If you have a comic book shop close to you that you feel absolutely deserves a spotlight shining on it, if you believe that it is a hub to your neighborhood that supplies you with new books and introduces you to new books, introduces you to classic books, talks to you about comics, if they are really passionate and you think that they deserve it, do go to the website. Excuse me. Go to San Diego Comic-Con website, comic-con.org. Go to the Will Eisner page, download the form, and do enter that your favorite comic book shop into the running, because they could be a Will Eisner award-winning comic book shop, and you can't fault that as a piece of silverware on your mantle. That's something else. So that's number one. The other one that I wanted to talk about is the dates for San Diego Comic-Con 2016.
I'm glad you brought that in.
Yeah, as I did quite like the comment from Travis McIntyre that yes, we know the dates for San Diego Comic-Con 2016, and we don't know when the badge sales dates for San Diego Comic-Con 2015 are. The irony there is understandable. Yeah. This is something that came off the back of the All-Star Game application, which is a massive sporting event coming to San Diego in July. San Diego have won the rights, or won the honor of hosting the All-Star Game, and that is going to happen in July. A lot of things have had to move around. Indeed, the city itself has done everything within its power to kind of keep people happy and to move things around so it all kind of works out. The thing about the All-Star Game is it's 4 days and it's locked. They cannot move it. It's the game and it's the 4 days leading up to the game as well. That's all being sorted out. An announcement kind of on the on the Convention Center website as well did give us a date for 2016, which is the 21st to the 24th of July 2016. So if you are one of those people that can book your vacation dates well in advance, now's the time to do it. That is, I mean, there was another convention which is a San Diego mainstay, which is the ESRI convention, bringing in $60 million and 40,000 hotel room stays. It's a major thing, and they've had to move to accommodate this event. So the one thing that hasn't moved is San Diego Comic-Con. So do keep that dates in your diary: 21st to the 24th of July 2016.
I think somewhere in there, and it could be that or with something else, there was a wonderful quote by one of the San Diego officials that said something to the effect of, we can't move San Diego Comic-Con, because their fans would plan their whole year around this, and they don't like change, and we best not mess with it. It was brilliant. I saw
that. Yeah, it did paint us out to be really kind of awkward. I do apologize.
I would have to imagine, though, that before San Diego put their bid in for hosting the All-Star Game, they did have to at least check out when San Diego is, both being in July, given that Petco Park is used for San Diego Comic-Con. So there couldn't have been that overlap, because then you're displacing too many people. You're worried about the One Direction concert. I mean, this would bring in, a ton of people for an extra week, and I just have to imagine that even the Petco Park people understood that there would have to be some type of there has to be enough separation in the year that they want to host the All-Star Game to accommodate both San Diego Comic-Con and them, since they're both big money draws for San Diego itself.
Yeah.
Sure. No, I mean that also makes sense. I mean, I did quite like the fact that when they did the article talking about the application for the event, they had all the information about the other conventions and things that had to move around, and at the bottom they did actually have a full quote from David from San Diego Comic-Con from CCI, which means there's conversation there, there's communication, and of course there absolutely has to be. So yeah, a lot of people heading towards San Diego in July. It's gonna be cool. But that's 2016. Do keep those dates in your diary.
One question that I have though is I wonder how that affects hotels. I mean, I don't know. I didn't see when the All-Star Game is, but I could almost imagine someone trying to stay in a hotel room, and would the hotel have to say, "I'm sorry, those days are booked out," and have to kick them out? I mean, I don't. That's a year away, so worry about it next year around this time, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah, that's a good
No,
point.
that makes sense. Yeah, it's a good point. I think they have done enough to kind of put the dates far enough away, but it's still. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, but I think what they've actually done, the way that it looks like it works out, is that it's the All-Star Game, then the ESRI convention, and then San Diego Comic-Con. So there's enough separation there.
There's a bumper.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right. Excellent stuff. Those are the stories that I wanted to bring up. Is there anything else that anyone else wanted to talk about?
I do want to give an update for the folks that booked hotel rooms through hotwire.com and booking.com.
Sure. This was a controversy that has been discussed over the last week or so regarding people that have booked hotels with these two organizations, saying that everything for Comic-Con and the July week, that's all sorted, it's all been nailed down, it's all confirmed, all you have to do is just show up in July, at which point people got a little bit antsy, a little bit understandably wary of that kind of commitment from a third party, phoned up the hotels and they said that's not confirmed by us at all. So what's been said on the forum?
Your guest last week, Mark was instrumental in spearheading the campaign through Hotwire. Basically, they are standing up and trying to rebook people. They've booked a number of people into the Indigo and a few other venues, hotels in that immediate neighborhood at the same price. So the Hotwire people seem like they're being taken care of. They had all prepaid, so they had a little bit more skin in the game, so to speak. The Booking.com people who were all booked into the Hard Rock Hotel did not prepay. I have one of those reservations, and I called them up. The person on Friday, the person I spoke with knew the problem, said, "We're looking at rebooking you. Give us 48 hours. We'll go through it." I've since seen a posting on the forum which had said that they offered somebody a booking at the Ramada. Well, the Ramada is not the Hard Rock Hotel. There's no comparable. And so I am hoping that they will look at rebooking us into the Marriott, one of the Hiltons, or the Hyatt. That's my thought, is what they're going to do, which is at least somewhat comparable. Nothing is comparable to the Hard Rock, though.
Sure.
Yeah. So, if anybody has a booking, call them up.
Absolutely. People talk about the Hard Rock, though, as being one of the premier hotels to stay at in San Diego and during Comic-Con. And yes, I've been hearing some great reports. But then I also hear these reports about wafer-thin walls, the nightclub that's open till 3 o'clock in the morning. And, and yeah, I just think to myself, you know what? Yeah, I'd like to do. I still think I'm young enough to do the Hard Rock. And then I look at the Omni and think, yeah.
I'm an Omni person too.
Yeah.
That's been my hotel. Actually, with regards to that, I saw the sale at Hotwire when it was on sale, and my concern was basically the same issue. It was like, how are they getting these tickets? I was very afraid to actually book the hotel, and I ended up not booking it for that reason. It just seemed, you know, when you see something too good and you're like, even though it's a legitimate site, and you just say, I don't trust it, so I stood clear of it, you know. I mean, I don't know if that was the right decision. It seems some people are being taken care of, but it seemed a little harsh to me to try it.
Sure. Well, I mean,
I don't think they're being taken care of at the Omni, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. No. I may have misread that. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah. We've got a couple of people who are commenting on the Q&A. Indeed, one of the people that was instrumental in bringing the hotel's situation to us, which is Travis McIntyre. Basically, I'm not going to repeat some of the language that he's using on the Q&A, but it's understandable, the level of frustration. He has turned around and said that he has been sent a letter by Booking.com, and he's not utterly convinced by it. So hopefully he's going to send that to us, and we'll try and discuss that either next week's show, or certainly I'll try and put something on the website as well. Okay, if you are booking through either of those two companies, Hotwire and Booking.com, those seem to be the principal antagonists in this particular story. Get on them and do check with your booking. Find out how that booking stands, see where it's been changed to. Do get on with those two companies.
I'm posting a link from the forum which has the phone numbers and people's history, in case folks don't already have that.
At the top of the, I do apologise for this cough. I don't know where on earth this has come from. At the top of the page at the moment is the links to the All-Star event, but I am going to put at the top of the Q&A the link when that comes through from Alyssa. Thank you very much indeed. Right, before we do talk badge sales, and before we talk about hints and tips and one or two things that you can do to prepare for that badge sale, going to do our competition for this week. Very quickly, I am going to do a little bit of a backpedal of the announcement for the winner of the T-shirt from Last Exit to Nowhere. Thank you very much indeed for one or two people getting in contact with us. That the reason why I didn't have his full details on the screen is because I took him as an entrant, but he did in fact get the question wrong. So I've actually now corrected that, and I've now got all the people who've got the answer right. And yes, one or two people have said, what was the correct answer? The question was, what was the name of the AI on the Nostromo in the film Alien? Now, throughout the course of the week, I've also had one or two people questioning about the question as well. No, it's understandable. The answer that I was looking for was the AI of the Nostromo, which, if you follow the script and also follow the film, then the AI of the Nostromo is Mother, spelled M-U-T-H-U-R. That's the ship that's the AI that woke the crew up and set them down on LV-426. However, people have turned around and said, there's another AI on that ship, and they're absolutely right. It's the android. So the answers, I will take both. If you did answer either of those two, the AI of the ship Nostromo is Mother. The AI on the ship, maybe should have been a little bit more specific, but the AI on the ship is Ash. That's the name of the robot. We're going to try again. We've got the people who actually got the answers correct in my selection now, and we'll do a respin. I do apologise for that, but let's find out who the winner is, and then we will tell you how you can win that fantastic Back to the Future print. The winner is Ian O'Hara. who I know is a regular watcher of the Hangout. Thank you very much indeed for taking part, Ian. As soon as we get that through, we will send that. Congratulations, Ian. We'll get that through to you as soon as I get the T-shirts delivered, hopefully by Universal Pictures this week. Right.
And
this.
We move on.
And we move on.
Shame on you for Andrew for getting the answer wrong. And
he did. He actually named the robot from Aliens, which is Bishop.
Yes.
You see, totally different film. Right. So this is for the Mondo print, made available at Thought Bubble Sequential Art Festival in Leeds at the end of last year. Only 225 printed. You can go to an Englishman in San Diego.com to have a look at it. But it is basically a stunning poster by Mondo for Back to the Future. We can give that to you because when I was handed it by the Mondo guys, he did turn around and say, "This is especially for your viewers on the Hangout." And I took it and went, "Great, thank you very much indeed." Yeah, the thing is, I can't keep this for myself now because he's turned around and said it's for the. Oh man. So no, I can't keep it for myself. It is for you guys. So here we go. It's a question about Back to the Future, the first film. So the question is, and the way you enter is you either tweet me at EnglishmanSDCC using the hashtag BTTFMondo. Okay, that's the hashtag you're looking for, BTTFMondo. The question is, Marty McFly played in a band. I would like to know the name of the band that he played in high school. Okay? He played rhythm guitar in the band in Back to the Future. I would like to know the name of the band. Okay, so that's the question to win a fantastic Mondo print from Back to the Future. Thanks to Mondo. Use the hashtag BTTFMondo. Okay, so that's the question. And good luck to everyone. Hope you do well.
Can we clarify?
Sorry.
Because he plays on two bands. One when he goes back.
No.
Or his band.
I'm wanting the name of Marty McFly's band, not the band he played with at the dance. The band that he actually is a member of back in high school, 1985. That's the name of the band I'm looking for. You guys, good grief. Surrounded by pedants.
I'm helping you out. I'm helping you out.
You are. I appreciate it. I'm surrounded by pedants. That's all I can say. Brilliant. But there you go. Good luck with that if you are entering. And it is a great poster. I really would spread the word by all means. Do let them know about this competition. So, what is the name of Martin McFly's band in 1985, back in high school? What was the name of his band? Okay, right. Let's very quickly go through a couple of the comments on the Q&A. Something that I did bring up, or we brought up last week, was Star Wars Issue 1, which came out from Marvel this week. Did anyone get the chance to have a look at it? I know I did.
I haven't seen. It's still in my file. I'm gonna get there on next Wednesday is when I'll be able to actually read the comic. So I'm like, oh. But I did get two. I got two comics back from CGC this week, and I got a 9.8 on my Grayson book signed by both people, and a 9.8 on my image spread comic signed by Justin and the artist for that. So that's my comic news of the week.
Yeah, we were talking Star Wars, but quite frankly, when you land two 9.8s, you're quite happy about that.
But I am looking forward to reading the Star Wars book. How was it, Leonard?
Well, we'll go to Michael first. I mean, we managed to see it.
I mean, I've seen the fact that it's come out. I haven't got a chance to pick it up. I'll probably get to it later on. I have a few other things I'm reading and getting to at the moment. But I know it's some crazy number of variants, over 100.
Sure.
I'm hearing. And
it's close, but it's not that. Yeah, it's not that much. There's
not,
something
all
like
right.
it's 69 variants that have come out for this book.
All right. But
A large number of those have been retailer exclusives as well. I picked up 3 copies. I picked up the because Forbidden Planet here in the UK did a Adi Granoff variant. I picked up the colour version, the black and white sketch variant, and I also picked up the Scotty Young variant as well, which is just gorgeous. Okay, well, I can do a quick review of the book. It's stunning. I mean, I know that a lot of people will be. The news has been about the numbers, about the print run. It's already going to second print already. We're talking 4 or 5 days after release. It's already going to second print. But as a book, it absolutely feels like Star Wars, and that's so difficult to do. As somebody who used to read the Dark Horse books, you kind of have people who are trying to capture that Star Warsiness essence in a bottle, and it's very difficult to do. This absolutely feels like Star Wars. It does help that you've got Cassidy doing the art, because it looks like Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, and the full cast on the page. They absolutely stand up. There's 1 or 2 action beats in there as well, which are quite major, which I'm not going to spoil them for anyone who hasn't read the book, but to have one character fire on a certain other character, you think that's a big thing in the Star Wars universe. That's big stuff. It really is building up to something pretty epic, and the storyline does actually follow either a couple of days or a couple of weeks after the events of Star Wars: A New Hope, and it does feel that sense of immediacy from that first film. It's very much recommended from this reviewer, at least, if my opinion means anything. But I would certainly recommend stepping away from that noise of the cover and actually reading the book, because it is. I mean, I also like the way that they laid it out as well, because the first page is the Star Wars. It's a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Turn the page, Star Wars. Turn the page, and it's 3 panels, and it's a starship coming over the top. It feels like a Star Wars film. It's brilliantly. It's brilliant. It really is.
When you open it, does John Williams music start playing?
No, they haven't managed to pull that off. But I tell you something, you do start whistling it in your head. You do start humming it. It's very, very, very cool. So excellent. So yeah, Gary asked that question. For me, did Star Wars live up to my expectations? Above and beyond. Brilliant. I'm very much looking forward. I'm looking forward to issue 2. I want to see how this is going to develop. Excuse me. And I'm certainly looking forward to issue 1 of Princess Leia that comes out in March as well, which is written by Kieran Gillen. That should be interesting. So that's pretty cool.
Does it follow, since I'm gathering that the only Scotty Young variant cover was the one that I'm seeing, that one Scotty Young cover,
Right.
Does it follow that the other 2 that you had shown pictures of Leia and Darth Vader, those are gonna be for?
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
There was hope. There was word of a lithograph that was going to be available at the launch parties. It looks like the lithograph, which I did get a copy of, is of the Star Wars issue 1.
Right.
But apparently he has done variant covers of Princess Leia and of Darth Vader issues 1.
Okay.
Both. And yep, you join them together, and it's one big poster. I would like to get the lithographs of the other 2, and I'd love to get them framed. I'd love to get them signed.
That'd be sweet.
That'd be cool.
Right.
Comments coming in. People, Neil Williamson asking, are these people getting confirmed bookings as at their alternate hotels, or is it still much of a risk? Good question.
Yes. My understanding is that they're getting confirmed bookings, but I mean the trains left the station on those bookings through Hotwire and Booking.com. That's done and gone. Sure. But they are confirmed bookings from what the impression that I'm getting, and they're getting actual hotel confirmation numbers.
Sure. Janine Lucaro has turned around and said, for Booking.com, people have also been posting on Booking's Facebook page. I bet they have. I can only imagine. Alyssa has posted the on the Q&A. If you want to go to the top, she has posted the thread to the friendsofcci.com forum regarding Hotwire and Booking.com.
They'll be digging there, and there'll be phone numbers if you still need them. And people contacts, because people's customer service people, some are better than others, and it's best to ask for the person that knows what you're doing. Yada yada.
Sure. Oh, something else that came. Oh, yeah, thank you very much indeed. This is a little bit further down the page, but no, this is very quickly. We'll talk about this. The priority invites for volunteers for Comic-Con this year. Who? I mean, I have volunteered at con. Have you volunteered before, Michael?
No, I haven't. I treat my con as a vacation, and I am not working. I understand that for some people it is like, you know, oh, it gives them an inside, you know, scenery. But for me, I'm like, no, I'm here not to, you know, lift a finger, except for standing on lines for 30 hours waiting to get into panel rooms, unless if you consider that work.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That's fine. Actually, I wanted to talk to Alyssa about this as well, because hopefully she can give a little bit of insight. Because apparently you did a couple of the earlier shifts before the con started. Was it last?
I did not. Year? No, I wasn't able to get into the early shifts. I am a returning volunteer though, and I do a minimal amount of shifts, to be honest. But I was invited back this year. The interesting thing is that it's in the past, all returning volunteers in good standing have been afforded the preview night pass for the following year, and apparently this is the last year that that's going to occur.
Sure. This is actually coming off the back of one or two changes that have happened at CCI, because they are making every effort to get as many people, paying attendees, through the door, which means complimentary badges are being culled, press badges are being culled, and indeed those complimentary badges for volunteers. Certainly for the preview night ones, they're being culled as well. They want to try and get as many bodies through the door, and I say fair play to that. I understand and appreciate that.
I think it has a little bit more. To be honest with you, I think that yes, that there's probably that sentiment, but I'm also thinking that it has more to do with the unstable nature of the numbers for volunteers that come in. So they don't know if there's 5,000 volunteers. They don't know if 4,000 people are going to show up, 5,000 people are going to show up. And there's also the question about whether or not those volunteers are going to turn around and give that preview night pass, sell that preview night pass to somebody else.
That was an issue this year, I know.
Right. So to my mind, if they, and here's what I would encourage CCI to do, is to say, okay, we have 3,000 passes. We're going to give these out to the 3,000 volunteers that have been here the longest, show up for all 4 days, are our backbone.
Sure.
And, you know, start from the top of the list, prioritize, and go down that way. To my mind, that might be a useful thing to do, as saying thank you for being such a good volunteer.
Yeah.
I'll try and get, but that way we keep the numbers solid. Okay, 3,000, that's it, done.
Sure. I mean, I know that speaking to David Glanzer and myself, they have been very concerned or very frustrated by people who attend as an attendee and then also volunteer as well, because that can skew. I think they're wanting like you say, they wanted to try and nail down those numbers that are walking through the door, which is understandable.
Well,
okay.
Hopefully, if that's true that they're not going to give out as many tickets, then we won't see 4 Spider-Men who are likely going to be One Direction dressed up.
I knew that was going to come back and bite me on the ass. I knew that was coming. I have had so many tweets this week from One Direction fans. Right, let me just clarify something here. I have nothing against One Direction fans. If you are a fan of One Direction, all the power in the world to you. I just won't find their first couple of albums on my iPod anytime soon. So there we go. That's all you can get out of me for this. If you're a One Direction fan, if you're heading to San Diego for One Direction, fair play to you. Best of luck with getting a hotel. Okay, we've got to an hour, and the one thing that we wanted to talk about we haven't kind of done. So let's spend 5-10 minutes and just do this then. So this is badge sales, and let's do some hints and tips and ways that we can all help ourselves to get the badge that we want when the badge sale is finally happening, the open online registration. So let's do a tip each. Alyssa, let's see if we can go to you first. Do you have a tip first regarding badge sales?
Make sure everybody. Well, a bunch of tips because that's how I am. But make sure everybody's online and ready and prepped and knows what they're doing. Have them watch the video. But join a group. That's got to be my biggest one. Is really, get all your buddies and friends and everybody who's got a member ID and set up a way of communicating and talk. Yeah. Just keep,
Badge teams absolutely is probably the best way of kind of improving your odds. Is all about being in a group that you can trust in terms of who gets. Say if it is going to be a group of is it one person and 3 others? Yeah. So
I don't know. They haven't
no, this
set.
is true. It's not actually been set itself.
Right.
But if, say, for example, they are one person buying for yourself and 2 others, let's go with that.
What it is.
Yeah. So we go teams of 3. At least at
that
the end
was
of the
what
day,
it was for pre-reg.
That's for free.
Whether or not it's for Gen Reg is different.
It's a different matter.
Yeah.
So whoever gets in first, at the end of the day, you've got 3 people going in for a group. Now, I know that a number of people feel that this is skewing it for everybody else, but it is a tip. It is a way of consolidating all that effort to get the badges. Badge teams is for me, I think, a highly important part of getting involved in buying the badges. Not only that, but it's part of that whole camaraderie of Comic-Con. I do believe it is part of the spirit of Comic-Con.
There is a way, and I can't point to it right now that my mind is blank, but there is a way of protecting yourself. Say if you buy a badge for somebody else, you are protected to get your money from that other person if you are part of a larger buying group. That said, if you use this group buying technique with New York Comic-Con, there isn't that same safeguard. So I can see that it being more difficult for other cons to use the group buying because you have to be with people you really trust. Am I going to buy somebody a $200 ticket and not that I don't know? And not be sure that I'm going to get paid back, or that they're going to actually send the ticket out to me?
Yeah.
So,
well, I'll throw in a tip. I will say group buying is the #1 thing to be a part of when you're going for tickets. It just helps. It's good to be in a group talking to people, and just having a big group really improves your odds. I would say my other tip would be prepared. Make sure your computer is that it's charging. Not only that, but that when you log onto the site, that the cookies are correct. Like they have checks that say, it is before you get into the room. It says, make sure that your computer is ready with all the updates that need to be, there, and make sure that you have a familiarity with how to actually fill out the form, because again, you posted the video, and it's very helpful for people who are new to the process. So at least familiarize yourself with what you need to do. As far as New York Comic Con, yes, it is a little harder, I would say, to trust people. At the same time, New York Comic Con's a little different. I hate saying it, but you know, there are people that scalp their tickets, so it's harder. So even if you get stuck with a ticket, you can't really get stuck with it because they do sell out. So if let's say you were polite and you went onto the FOCCI, you could probably get rid of that ticket, you know, for cost from someone else if someone were to have originally said they were going to take it from you. And worst case scenario, and I'll be quite honest, if let's say you are a legitimate person trying to buy for someone else, and then they turned around and kind of messed you over, and now you're stuck with that extra ticket, you could always go to eBay and sell it for exact cost. You know, there's no reason that you have to go to eBay and scalp the ticket. You could be frank, and you know, I mean, I don't like scalping for that reason of it takes away from someone else. But if your intentions were good, you know, at least that is still open to you. You know.
Good point.
Good point.
You know, I mean, I'm not saying that, you know, scalping is bad. I don't like, and that's the one line I try not to cross. Actually, with New York, you know, getting tickets, I buy just for the people that need it or who are in my specific group. But it's something that, you know, I don't think you'd be left with a ticket at the moment.
Sure. No, that makes sense. Yeah, good tip. I would also, I've just put into the comments of the event for this Google Plus Hangout, I've put the link for the open online registration for the browser check. Like Michael says, do make as much preparation as you possibly can. If I'm going to add my tip, I would say breathe. Calm down. Slow down. With this new system that was introduced in 2013, the one thing that the waiting room, sorry, well, not the waiting room, certainly the way that the badges were allocated, this I personally think is just it's just the best way to be, because then you are not panicking about getting your details into the forms. As I mean, it used to be a point where we actually had it's like WordPad open in another window and copying, pasting, and having everything there ready to go. Once you're into the waiting room, you have 15 minutes to fill in what is technically 3 pages of forms. I think there's the member ID form, the actual badge. I think there's only a couple of pages to really put form details in, and you've got 15 minutes. In other words, once you get into that page, slow down, take a breath, and just take it slow, because you don't have to rush. The badges that have been allocated to that session, once you've entered the badge buying session, they're locked. They are allocated to you and that session, and they're going nowhere. So just breathe. That's my tip. Certainly, I would. The other thing I'd personally do as well is keep an eye on the yellow status bar that will be rolling along with information on the screen. If anything, for one hell of a chuckle, because whoever mans that thing deserves a gold star ticket, because they are just that was one of the highlights of the certainly the pre-registration for me this year. It was just so funny. I'm very tempted to do a look back at the pre-registration sale, because I actually screen capped all of the messages. They were they were hilarious. They were brilliant. So yeah, any other tips that you can think of? Is there anything that's very quickly on the Q&A, perhaps? Anything that you'd recommend as a tip? Jump in, by all means. You've got a couple of minutes before we kind of wrap things up. So yeah, any last-minute tips? Any more?
I think that summed it up very well. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Cool, excellent stuff indeed. So there you go. Go on.
I think there's also a difference between if you're addressing somebody who's been before, and I think most of the people who are watching have been before, versus somebody who's new. with regards to it. So the person that's new is going to require a lot more hand-holding, and that's not what this is addressed to. This is addressed to people who've been there before.
Sure.
So,
but if 2014 is going, 2015 is going to be your first San Diego Comic-Con, there's plenty of help for you. I mean, we, as people who have been before, that's what we're here for. We want to help you do what you can to get to Comic-Con. So there's a number of forum sites. Like I say, there's the forum site on the friendsofcci.com. There's a couple of posts that I'm going to be reposting on my white website. There's plenty of help for you, so we will do what. There's advice and help there, absolutely. Right, I think. Oh, do you want to very quickly do that? Okay.
Well, there's been a lot of controversy about it. I mean, White Boy Network.
Sure. Okay. Go for it. What would you like to talk about?
I had an interesting point. Somebody had said, there's been a lot of talk about it just being exclusively white, and but somebody else had said, and I'm just picking up on that, and I did the math. If you add up the net revenue from all of the Academy Award nominations, it worked out to be approximately half of what Guardians of the Galaxy took in. Yeah. And yet Guardians of the Galaxy and Lego and fill in the blanks didn't even make the list.
No, Lego and Guardians of the Galaxy are the obvious, the ones the more conspicuous absentees.
And they made more than all of them combined.
I know.
It doesn't matter. Birdman's gonna win everything. That's it. Birdman.
Right.
I'm pushing Birdman till the end of time.
No. Right. You say that, and I saw Birdman beginning of last week. Fine. That is a great film, and I would personally say cinematography and best adapted screenplay. Yes. Sorry, dude. I know the man's got love. Fine, and I loved his performance. I saw Whiplash this week. If J.K. Simmons does not win something at this year's awards, my God, what a performance! Good God, what a film! That is my current. I mean, sorry, but we started off the year for me with Birdman and Whiplash. Good God, that's how we start a year. Incredible. Do check out both. If you haven't seen those films, Birdman certainly for like an industry laugh. If you're kind of like familiar with the way that the industry works, or if you want to see behind the screens and the curtains kind of thing. Yeah. Whiplash, on the other hand, I can't describe that film too highly. It's stunning.
I've been hearing a lot of good things about.
If either of those two win Best Actor, I would be a happy bunny.
I've been hearing a lot of good things about American Sniper. That's been one that around.
Yes,
I'm not saying win an award or anything, because to be honest with you, I haven't seen any of them that are on the list.
Okay. No, I think. No, I mean, Bradley Cooper's won his fair share now, and I think to see either J.K. Simmons or Michael Keaton up on stage winning a Best Acting Oscar, sorry, that would be just spot on. I mean, Michael Keaton winning a Best Actor, brilliant.
That would be cool.
That'd be so cool. Excellent. So, thank you very much indeed for joining us wherever you are. Once again, I'm not going to repeat the question, sorry, for the Back to the Future poster, because I want you to watch the Hangout. But if you want to tweet that answer to me at Englishman SDCC, and if you use the hashtag BTTF Mondo, and you could be the winner of a fantastic Mondo poster. The deadline for that competition is 6 o'clock next week, or 6 o'clock GMT. So 10 a.m. West Coast, 1 p.m. East Coast, and 6 o'clock GMT Sunday. So exactly 7 days' time. You've got a full week to get that answer to me, and you could be the winner of that fantastic Mondo poster. So thank you very much indeed to Michael Leventhal for joining us. Thank you very much indeed for your time, Michael.
Thanks for having me.
Where can people find you online, sir?
I'm mostly at FOCCI. I'm on another forum, High Def Ninja, and I'm on Twitter. My handle is the same at all three, MLLNY. So if you join any of those or are part of them, just say hi, and that's where I'm at.
Excellent. And of course, you can find him on Google Plus as well.
Yes.
Under Michael Leventhal. I'll listen. Don't you laugh at me. And Alyssa, thank you very much indeed for your time.
You're welcome. Enjoy your week, and good luck picking
yes.
the winner.
Well, yes, indeed. Oh no, I'll make sure that I'll be a little bit more stringent about who's entering this one.
I'm creating a fake name as we speak. So when you...
Fair enough. I'll be keeping an eye on you, sir. Okay. Thank you very much indeed, guys. So once again, if you do want to enter that competition, you've got 7 days. We're also, if you listen to this on the audio version, you're eligible to take part as well. Just tweet me the answer, Englishman SDCC, and use the hashtag BTTF Mondo. Right.
I'm going to, before you hang up, I'm going to suggest that perhaps you and I talk about some original art for next week.
Ooh,
which
okay.
I may.
Fair enough.
Just a little tidbit for people to think about, so they tune in next week.
I'm doing my fair share to get some more prizes that we can do each week as well. So, okay. Something to discuss behind your backs, everybody. Take care. Hopefully we'll see you next week, and hopefully we'll also find out some more information about any dates. But in the meantime, fingers crossed, let's find out all together, and hopefully we'll get the badges that you feel you deserve. Do take care, enjoy the week, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Good night. Bye-bye. Oh, still